let's get the transfer stuff out of the way if we can, please.
Adam, I thought you'd got better news than that.
Yeah, I haven't. Even Norwich is a long way, you know what I mean? Good news on the cup to the front either. So should we start with Edouard Bertian and how he progressed on him? You did say last week that he's a player that is on a list and interests you and everything, but I can't help feeling you must be getting frustrated that nothing's changed every week we speak to you.
Yeah, well, I feel as if we've had the same conversation since the start of pre-season. So it's just, it is what it is. The market is the way it is. There's stuff being worked on and there's stuff moving, but it's just taking probably longer than most of us hoped, and probably longer than Johannes hoped as well. It's just the situation is the way it is. We're waiting. We're trying to sort of unlock things and make things happen, but it is a bit of a fight at times. Yeah,
if we're feeling a little frustrated at it, I can't imagine how much multiplied that is for you, because you've got plans in your head and things you want to do, and you're having to just hold. I'm ignoring it, to be totally honest, as difficult as that is, and I'm only focusing on the players that are here, the players that want to play, the players that want to win games for us, and sort of parking that side of things to one side of my head and letting the people upstairs crack on with that, because I can't control it anyway. No. And in some ways, I guess the outs are almost more frustrating than the ins you're waiting for, because you want to see that squad players out and move and get a smaller squad to work with, and so on and so on.
Yeah, that is moving. There will be stuff that happens before the end of the week. But yeah, there's just a load of things that you have to face, and there's a load of situations that come up and that you sort of think, okay, like national team coaches telling players that they need to be in, first division clubs or top 5 leagues to get into contention, and thinking about World Cups and stuff. So it's like, transfer window is what it is. It creates a load of situations. But we're working on it. We are. There is activity within the club. It's just a complicated market for the moment, I think.
There is an argument, of course, that the Championship is equal to at least one or two of those top 5 leagues.
Yeah, that's what I don't get, but that's for other people to debate about.
A couple of names I'm going to throw at you then. Issa Kabore, obviously seriously linked with him, the right back, and the club have dipped into Manchester City a number of times in recent years. So how much can you say about anything happening on that front? We have spoken to him. I've had quite a few players from City. I think over the past couple of years I've always worked well with them. That is an option, but again, we're just negotiating and trying to find a way for it to work for all parties. But again, he's a good player. He's got a few qualities, so it's ongoing. Finn Azaz is a player I've seen in the Championship, scored a lot of goals, got a lot of assists in the Championship the last couple of years. You've been linked with him as well. It's an ambitious signing if you get him, isn't it?
We've got a new name every week, haven't we? Yeah. I said the list is long, and we want good players, and we're looking at good players, but we want good players in the right conditions, and that are going to fit what we're trying to do, not just on the footballing level, but also on, again, those sort of human skills. So Finn scored goals. He's a good player. He knows he is, and yeah.
I did actually not ask you about Spurzian in the end, because we moved on to other stuff, but I did start with that, and you have mentioned him last week openly as being on a list. Progress?
Slow. But it's just people have got agendas, and negotiating skills are difficult, and we're just being honest and very open with things. But people tend to struggle with all that.
Now, you know how we all like to put 2 and 2 together and make 5. So does the signing of Ebrechi Eze perhaps open up the market for Tyler Dibling's exit?
I don't know. I have no idea. You'd have to ask Crystal Palace or Arsenal or Tottenham. I don't know. It's just, I read all this stuff at the same moment you guys do, and I saw the Sky Sports news, 8 o'clock this morning with breaking news. So it's just it is what it is. Ty's fine, by the way. He's trained really well. He's totally fine. He's relaxed. Same thing goes for Matty and all the rest. So I don't know if something does happen, then you'll probably know before I do. So.
And as before, as long as nothing changes, those two would continue to be involved like they were last week in Saturday's squad.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, we've got a squad of 24 players that are fit and that are ready to play. We know that we can only take 18 on a team sheet, so we're going to make choices about the football side of it and ignore the rest of it. But players need to be ready. Players need to be fit. They need to be wanting to win football games. So yeah, we'll base our decisions made on trainings, football, and not all the speculation.
Stoke then, and Mark Robins, who's a manager I've huge respect for, what he's done in the game and the amount of time he spent at Coventry doing what he did there. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Robins as a tactician and as a manager?
Yeah, he's good. I'd love to have his experience and have his his results over the last few years, because what he did at Coventry was very good, and what he's doing with Stoke here is really impressive as well. And he's turned that team into a really good football team. They got 2 wins, they're qualified in the cup. They're doing things in the right way, and I think I might say this every week, but it will probably be another big test for us on Saturday. And we've watched them. We know what to expect, but we're going to have to be on very high levels of focus, of commitment and quality to be able to get anything out of the game. Yeah.
They're one of those clubs, aren't they, that with the owners they've got, the money behind them, and you're always just waiting for a manager to get it right, to be given the chance to get it right. But what he did at Coventry just goes to show that if you stick with the manager and let him see through his plans, it helps.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to get started on that, but it does. It takes time, It's like we're doing something for the moment that wasn't, the initial plan or the initial, what we wanted to do. But you need to win games of football, and you need to just get on with it. And I think if we do have a bit of time and manage to get the squad where we want it, and lay the foundations that we've already laid and build on that, then we'll be very good. But it's that famous expression of Rome wasn't built in a day, and you need a bit of time to get things right. And Stoke have done that over the last few months, and he's doing really well. But yeah, that's football, isn't it?
You've managed to do it over a few weeks, haven't you? You're 3 unbeaten after the start of the season. I don't think you could have asked for much more.
Maybe taking out the mistakes that have led to goals, but that's me being hypercritical. I think there was a lot more sort of emotional stuff and psychological stuff going on that we needed to deal with, and we're still progressing, we're still working on it, but there are glimpses of interesting things, and at least we're showing that there's a backbone to what we're trying to do. We're going to stand up. We're going to be accountable for what we do, and we want to be a solid team that is going to have a right go. And we've shown that over the last 3 games. So that's definitely a good starting point. And we want to keep winning. We want to keep picking up points where we can. But we want to be demanding towards ourselves as well, which is why we have to sort of eradicate those mistakes and take them out. But yeah, we're getting there.
Mentality-wise, surely the best illustration of what you've managed to turn around is to come from behind twice to take 4 points. I mean, we might have said about this team a while ago.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the lads said it better than I did. We always chat about the game after full time, and we always sort of debrief and go through it quickly. And they said, we're getting there, because 3 months ago we would have crumbled and folded and probably lost sort of 3 or 4-0. And I said that after the game the other day. But it is, you feel it and you see it in their body language and all the rest. And now we obviously want to stop conceding goals, because our defensive record needs to be one of the best. But at least there's a reaction there of actually we can do this, and we are. We can be a very good footballing side. So we're working towards that. It's just like we just said, it just takes a bit of time.
And just finally from me, next week's a 3-game week. The first week was a 3-game week. How important or good has it been for you to target this week to get stuff done on the training ground? You've actually not had a midweek game.
Yeah, no, it's vital. I think yesterday was a big session in terms of volume and intensity. I think we've hit really high numbers, which again the other players aren't really used to in their training loads. So we're getting them up to speed and we're getting them as fit as we can get them. But obviously to work on the game and work on what we're trying to do is also vital. And yeah, it's nice having a few days and not having to worry about too many games at once. So it's been a good week.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Just jumping back to Stoke,